What's going on? I'm driving right now. Don't got the phone in my hand, but yeah. Sorry I can't talk with the mic. So, one person I wanted to talk about or briefly go over, the man that was in my life besides my dad and besides coaches. His name was Anthony Hayden. So I'll say that he came into my life around 3. I was already talking. I was already telling him that I wanted to go home. I didn't like it being around him. It was my dad. He was more light skinned, so sometimes I'll call him white, just being disrespectful. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, I got popped by him and my mom. But I can say, growing up, I got my ass whooped a lot. I'll say, looking back at it, there was no hard feelings, but I felt like his family didn't like me sometimes, or they lied on me, and so I got my ass whooped, a badass kid. There's norm to doing stuff like this. Why would it not be true? You know what I'm saying? So he was in the military, and he was younger than my mom, and then he also had a kid that was younger than me, but he was a barber. He owned steaks, or owned at one point in time just a little percentage or part of a barbershop. And so it grew into half, and then after the other member passed away, he ended up owning it. But just growing up, I used to say Christmases, school, birthday, it was all kind of things I wanted. All I had to do was just stay out of trouble. But I could never seem to do that, or I could never stay a good track. My mom always said I do so good and then I mess up. You know what I'm saying? I do so perfect and then just one slip up and then I'm on a path of destruction. I'll say he taught me manners, even though my mom said that she did. He just instilled them. But the guy beat my ass a lot, so like it was to the point where if I had something in my food, I had to just look at her so she would know, or somebody would know that I'm not saying or what, because I had it bad at a young age. It was just being rude and disrespectful. So I definitely learned real quick how to use my manners. It didn't take long at all. I'll say Anthony was very tough on me. He showed me currency above $5 had that watermark or the face, because I remember he had nothing but fives and bigger bills, but I only had a $1. I said, man, all my money's fake. He laughed at me, and because I was already doing side things like around the neighborhood, and I already had my own type of income at young age, where I was stealing stuff. So I already had money. So they was just like, oh, give me all them ones you got, or where you get this money from? And that kind of turned into I found him and this and that. But I can say he treated me okay when I look back. But back then I felt like I was like, man, this dude's mean. But I can say now, becoming older and realizing what was really going on, he really didn't treat my mom, I'll say, in her defense, like how she wanted to be treated. She wanted to be married. She told me a long time ago that he didn't want to marry her, but like she stuck around. So she loved him, or she cared about him. He did drink, he did smoke, but he kind of was like a social drinker, or he'd go out to the club and drink and then drive home drunk. He got more DUIs in possession of marijuana than any violent crimes, I'm not saying like, oh, he was bad, but he would slip up. He had his own money. He was retired from the military, and he'd go out clubbing, and one night he'd get pulled over, or like certain stuff like that happened to him. So I learned from him how to maneuver around his mistakes. I can't talk right now. I'm over looking at traffic. But Anthony had a big family, and that's something that I really wanted as well. Majority of all his family went to one high school, one middle school, and that was Bryan Station Middle School, Bryan Station High School. It's like one of the oldest schools in Lexington, Kentucky. They had holes. They always said they had bugs and rats and stuff like that. Because his nieces and nephews were still going to the school, graduating to the school. So my mom didn't want me to go there. She graduated from Dunbar High School. Majority of like the West End kids went out that way. Anthony, he was from the country part of Lexington, Kentucky. His dad and his mom own a few acres, and so that just really inspired me at a young age to always have my own. And I'm pretty sure that inspired him to become a business owner. I can say after my car accident in 2016, he reached out. He wanted me to come back to Kentucky to go to barber school, but he wasn't going to help me. I couldn't live with him, basically. I had to figure that out. But it was just a motivating mind state. Like, he was going to help me, but he wasn't going to help me all the way. But I ended up, figuring it out, trying to find myself after my car accident.